Hello, I'm Courtney Prosser, transformational mentor, and welcome to the Diamond Code podcast, the place where you learn to transform struggle into success, fear into fulfillment, and dirt into diamonds. Hello, it's Courtney Prosser, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Diamond Code podcast. Those of you watching via video, I'm wearing my diamond-clad mask for impact and effect, because what I'm talking about today is looking through the eyes of unlimited energy. So this mask represents being like a diamond, where you are available to shine and sparkle at all times within your life. So exhaustion, stress, overwhelm, the stuff that sucks us dry of energy. There's a lot of very tired people out there in the world at the moment. So what I want to talk about are ways to connect into the deep spiritual truth that unlimited energy is available to us at all times. So within the Diamond Code training, there are 6 very powerful activations that are undertaken fortnightly, and they're grounded into our being, into our cells, into our DNA, that ground in these spiritual truths. So today's one, unlimited energy, which is one of the activations we do in the Diamond Code, it's based on the spiritual truth that at the core of our being, the source of who we are connected to everyone and everything. That higher power, whatever you believe in, whatever you believe that to be, has an unlimited source of energy. So when we see the world through our eyes of truth, the deepest spiritual truths, when we sit very deeply in the essence of who we are, we can literally plug in, like we plug an electricity cord into the socket. We can plug into the source of energy that's available to us at all times. So for myself, I mean, it sounds easy to do. And for myself, like a year and a half ago, I was at my lowest of lows that I've ever experienced on an energy level. So as a mum, I had my babies at the age of 40 and 42. So when I turned 40, I actually felt like I was 30. I had overflowing energy and enthusiasm and just a zest for life. And when I fell pregnant, about a month or two after my 40th birthday, I could feel straight away, just being pregnant, the energy sort of being drawn from my being, being pregnant at that age. By the time I gave birth to my daughter, just before my 41st birthday, I could feel the depletion coming in. And then as I breastfed her for 18 months, and while I was still breastfeeding my daughter, I fell pregnant with my son when she was only 14 months old. And so he was born, while I was 42. And my daughter pretty much weaned herself once I was pregnant. And it was through that second pregnancy that I really felt that tiredness coming in. By the time I gave birth to my second child, my body was so physically depleted. So all the nutrients that it requires to grow, birth, and feed 2 children. By the time my son was 6 months old, and I had surgery on a skin cancer that I had on the top of my head. So being a blondie with always parting my hair in the same place, I had some surgery. So I went under with a general anesthetic, and when I came out from that operation, my body was just knocked for 6, because the energy that it requires to heal a big wound, because they actually had to rotate my scalp to remove the skin cancer from the top of my head, which was just a mild, like a basal cell carcinoma, for those of you that know skin cancers, that, they're super common. And I'm a very high risk for skin cancers. I'd lived in summers for 20 years, I avoided Melbourne winters and had a huge amount of sun exposure, especially on the top of my head. So when I had that operation, my son was 6 months old, I'd had two babies, my body was at its most absolute low of physical depletion. And for anyone that knows, when you've been physically unwell and your body is super depleted, that it has a very direct impact on your mental and your emotional state. And I had always prided myself on the fact that I was an extremely positive, plugged in spiritual person, that it was very hard to get me down. And this was supposed to be one of the happiest times of my life. I had two beautiful kids, my gorgeous husband, our beautiful home. I'd stopped working at that stage, so I didn't have any work to do. But I was absolutely exhausted and my mood was flat. I was completely overwhelmed with the task of motherhood with two kids. Even though we had quite a bit of help around us, I was absolutely exhausted. So that was a time where I needed to dig deeper, to find deeper resources within my being to really bring back that energy and that zest, which I clearly have back now, but I certainly didn't a year and a half ago. And I needed to hit it at all levels. So on a physical level, I mean, I've always had an amazing diet. My diet didn't change. It was still amazing, but I was so depleted in nutrients. I went on a process where I had very high dose vitamin C. Vitamin C is one of the nutrients that is sucked out of our bodies when we're undergoing stress. And it absolutely peaks the amount of vitamin C that we use when we're birthing babies. But if that's not then replenished, we sort of run at very low levels of, in fact, all of the nutrients, but vitamin C being a huge one when we're under stress. So I pumped my body full of vitamin C, magnesium, B. I took a whole lot of different, what are they called? Superfoods, and the word's gone out of my head. I went to a naturopath and got lots of, what are they called? Just supplements, that's the word. Supplements that fueled my body and just got it up to that next level from surviving, not yet to thriving, but surviving to just being able to get through my day. Because I was exhausted undertaking every task that a mother needs to undertake throughout the day with two young kids. Once I'd got my physical body sort of a bit more back on track, and it took months for my body to fully be able to absorb all of that energy again and to increase the nutrients and get them back to, really helpful levels. I then needed to work on my mindset, because for anyone who's noticed, when you get in a very deep, dark place within an illness or within tiredness, stress, the mindset and the thoughts that come up during that phase, they're really powerful for you to witness. So I got to see some of the darker patterns that had always been running, but just down in my subconscious. So it's like there were negative thought patterns that were never really going to be activated until I was in a state of exhaustion. So I uncovered beliefs within me that were linked to my childhood and the kind of motherhood journey that my mum went through. And I had to clear through a lot of those beliefs about what it meant to be a mum and how tiring and exhausting it was, which is the beliefs that I had to replace. And once I started sifting through those beliefs and really transforming every belief that I had about how hard it was, and finding beliefs around ease and grace, and grounding into the spiritual belief that, energy is unlimited and that I just needed to plug in daily, because I basically dropped a lot of my spiritual practices in that time. So shifting the beliefs just got my energy up to that next level once again. Then on an emotional level, my body was pretty much running in flight or fight mode for about a year. I had this constant level of low-level anxiety that was just constantly there. And look, to anyone from the outside, I probably looked as though I was tired, but I was getting by. But internally, being somebody who's such a high achiever and a thriver in life, I was struggling and I wasn't happy about being, I've got high standards. I wasn't happy about being so depleted, so exhausted, so negative, and so grumpy. So, on an emotional level, I had a lot of anger come up, a lot of frustration, and just a lot of deep sadness that had been held in my body but never released until I was exhausted and could no longer keep a lid on them. So it was a really powerful time for emotional release. I've never cried so many tears as when I was in those early days of 2 kids, young mum, struggling to adjust to the new responsibilities. And I needed to find outlets to allow that emotion to move through. And when you're a busy mum, it's not like you can sit down and just, cry your eyes out for hours on end and journal about it, because there's little beings that need you while you're trying to support these little beings. So I had to get really creative about ways that I could still express my emotions and tend to them while I was tending to these 2 little beings. I had to up level the way that I dealt with emotion. And this is what I find with my clients who are up leveling their life, taking their business to a new level, calling in greater levels of success on all levels of their life, in relationships, in their lifestyle, in their health and fitness, that we need to find new ways of dealing with our emotions, because sometimes the old release techniques that we've used don't work anymore. And that's what I faced. The old techniques that had kept me thriving for 20 years no longer worked as a mum. So I had to find new, really quick, fast, effective techniques to get in touch with what I was feeling emotionally and give it space to flow out. And then on a spiritual level, I had to reconnect with that truth that was so ground into me, but had become disconnected through my exhaustion. So I had to reconnect to that belief that unlimited energy is available to us in all moments. And that process got me back to, got me back to the level of thriving that I'm at today, where I've got unlimited energy to undertake the tasks as I now have my business running again, and still little 2 kids. I've got a 2 and a 4-year-old who are very busy to tend to, but I have plenty of energy throughout the day because I looked at my being on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and up-leveled where I was drawing my energy from. And that's what we do in the Diamond Code. We up-level the amount of energy that's coming into your being. Because if you want to grow, you want to expand your life to new levels, you want to boost your business, you want to call in your relationship, you want to get fit and healthy and thrive, then you need to be thriving with energy, not half depleted and exhausted all the time and overwhelmed and stuck in patterns that keep us so drained. So we up-level all of those layers, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to get lots of energy flowing into your being. So the truth of unlimited energy available to us. I'm just going to talk you through a meditation now, which is different to the activations that I do in the Diamond Code training. But just as a meditation, it will turn your attention towards what is true. It won't necessarily activate it, but it will turn your attention to the truth that unlimited energy is available to you in this moment. So for those of you who are listening to this podcast and are driving, keep your eyes open and still continue to follow the prompts and draw more energy into your being as you're driving or walking. But for those of you that are just sitting in a room watching this or listening to this, closing down your eyes, taking your focus away from the outside world and focusing on your inner being. Taking some deep breaths down into your belly, and just drawing in energy through your breath. We actually absorb a lot of energy just through taking a nice deep breath down into our belly. Often when we're stressed and we're exhausted, we're doing very shallow breaths. So one of the first things we can do to draw energy into our being is to take a nice big deep breath down into our belly. And really just letting go of any of the heaviness that we've been holding on to with the exhale. So just doing some audible exhales, breathing down into your body, down into your belly, and really breathing out any of that heavy, stale, stagnant energy that's been holding you down, keeping you tired, and letting that go. And just allowing your being now to open. When we're in a closed, shut down state, we're not open to the unlimited energy that's available to us. So open up your energy field, open up your posture, open your chest, open your hands. If you don't have your hands on a steering wheel, open your hands, hold your head up high, be in a very open position, ready to draw in more energy into your being. So I want you to feel yourself now as living energy. You know, that life force that powers your physical body. Just feeling the subtle vibration of energy and life force that powers your physical body. And now feeling like you're standing under a waterfall of energy and light, just allowing golden light like sunlight to come down through the top of your head and filter through every cell in your being, awakening and igniting energy and life force. So as it comes down into your throat, your chest, down your arms to your hands, through your torso, igniting all of your internal organs with energy, down through your pelvis, down your legs, and out your feet, down into the earth. And just feeling this natural flow of energy coming from the universe above, through your entire being, down into the earth, energizing every cell, just opening up to the unlimited energy that's available to us all in each moment. And breathing it in with nice deep breaths down into your body. It is that simple to activate and to awaken and open ourselves up to receiving the energy that is around us. Opening your mind to be more positive, opening your emotions to flow. We don't want anything to be shut down. Open your body, open your mind, open your heart and your emotions, and open your energy body to unlimited energy. Can you feel it? Can you feel it in your body? That just by opening your mind to the unlimited energy that surrounds us, that instantly you can have this rush of energy in your body. So go forth, shining diamonds, share your beautiful energy with the world, and whenever you're feeling tired, exhausted, and overwhelmed, open yourself up to connect to Source, to connect to the unlimited energy that is available to us in every moment. And if you are ready to shine like a diamond and thrive under the pressures in this modern day world that we live in, the Diamond Code is a really powerful 3-month coaching program that I run that activates unlimited energy alongside all of the other unlimited forces of money, of time, of love, of peace and connection. We activate all of those so that you rest, that you live, and that you thrive in the unlimited, vast, powerful energy that surrounds us always. Have a beautiful day. Lots of love. Bye-bye.